This video is one big message to EA and Codemasters following the reveal of F1 25. In this video, I'm going to be setting out what I think we need to hear from EA and see from EA in one of the deep dives coming up. Because as I post this, F1 25 just got revealed. You know, happy days. New F1 game on the way. Very exciting. But as I alluded to in that reveal video, you know, we got a lot of headline things about things to expect. It was all very vague, and they said more info and, you know, more details were to come in the deep dives in April. Now, going into this year's F1 game cycle, myself and I'm sure a lot of you at home are very skeptical going into this game cycle because of the way F1 24 went, the massive downturn that game was. And I said it before, and I'll say it again, EA need to win back the trust of the F1 game consumer that things are going in the right direction. Now, I'm making this video off the back of a little exchange I had with the EA Sports F1 account on X. They were actually complimenting me on how well the reveal video of mine did yesterday, which I appreciate. And by the way, guys, thank you so much for the support on that one. It was really great to see. I hope you guys always appreciate those kind of in-depth videos where we comb through every bit of info. But I replied to that essential compliment from the EA Sports F1 account with a real pressing matter. And a lot of my fellow content creators and other people as well liked that reply, responded, and basically supported what I was saying back to them of that is a real pressing matter. And it's a very pressing matter because, being very blunt and honest, okay, we've heard about new features coming to My Team Career Mode. We've heard about the story mode returning, reverse driving potentially, F3 driver icons. All of this, none of that matters before what I'm about to say in the main part of this video. None of that matters. All these new features for My Team Career Mode coming up, you know, new UI, vistas, menus, features, blah, blah, blah. None of that. I will not care about any of that properly until a couple of these things that I'm about to list off now are addressed. And I am making this video in this fashion, like I said, directly as a message to EA and Codemasters, because, guys, let's say the first deep dive is going to come on a Wednesday because they posted the reveal on a Wednesday. So if they post the first one on a Wednesday, the earliest first deep dive could come next Wednesday. So if it is going to be that, and let's say the first deep dive is on My Team Career Mode, because that's what they kind of started off with in the reveal, basically, then you have three, and this is, again, talking to the employees and the marketing team, etc., you have 3 whole working days, Friday, Monday, Tuesday, to heed my message. And I'm saying it like that. It's not like a threat. I'm not you know, it maybe sounds really serious, but it's honestly massive advice. Take it from someone who plays this game every single day, pretty much. Probably less so on F1 24, but if it's a good F1 game, playing it every single day. It's advice. It's advice that is very well informed from someone who knows the gripes of F1 24. Someone who has played 5 seasons of F1 24, which, by the way, seems like none of your quality testers ever seem to bother with, so they don't find out how dull the career mode is in later seasons. Take my advice here. Number 1, the first thing that we should be hearing in the deep dive for F1 25 when it comes to My Team Career Mode or any single-player experience, really, is, 1, that you have fixed the AI. Simple as that. You have addressed it. You are working on it. However you want to word it, that you are addressing the awful F1 24 AI that don't go for overtakes, that DRS and ERS train all race long, or they absolutely mince you on acceleration because the AI are too pin perfect at managing battery or whatever the hell is there in the coding. They're just incredible with the acceleration, and you've got no chance if you've got no battery. You need to reassure the player base. I'm not even talking about me. I'm talking reassure this player base watching that you have fixed the AI and that it is minimum back to AI quality that was in F1 23. Because F1 23's AI, they were fun. You could race them. It was a good time over any sort of race distance. So minimum that we return back to AI that are as good and competent as F1 23. And then obviously, ideally, you've got back to that and then you've improved upon that in that direction rather than this horrendous direction the F124 AI has gone. Because as I've said many times in videos, F124's AI honestly has probably gone back about 6 years. Like, I think F1 2019, 2018 AI were better than F124 AI, and that says a lot. So that's number one, that must be addressed immediately, because none of the features matter if I'm wanting to quit the game midway through a career mode race because the AI are no fun to race. None of the features will matter if the actual race is dull and uninspiring with these trains. And you can see the mini-map is literally comical with these trains going around the map, and it's all one big train, basically. It needs to be fixed. Number two, you need to address driver transfers in career mode as a whole. Driver career mode and my team career mode, okay? You need to reassure the player base that you have heard out the concerns that the driver transfers currently are incredibly monotonous. They are so boring. They are so dull. And if you're not going to implement a system like F1 Manager where you can actually edit the grid yourself every season you go into, then at least reassure us you've heard us out and that you are going to look into making sure the transfers are more exciting. They happen often. They happen every single season, especially after like 2 seasons. They should definitely be happening no matter what. I don't care how unrealistic they are. It's a game. It's meant to be fun. And if you really look at it, if you go for realism, forget this year of Formula 1 IRL. The last 2 years of real life Formula 1 have been really boring for driver transfers. It's taken a while to get this exciting year where we've got so many transfers happening IRL. In a game, we shouldn't have to bear witness to that boredom. It should just be exciting every single season. So make it happen. Understand how dull your career mode has become with the transfers and look to fix it. And as a sort of number 3, but it's kind of tied into number 2, if the same or similar sort of contract system is in place from driver career mode revamp in 24, if it's going to be carried over and there's some sort of system similar in my team for F1 25, oh brother, you need to doubly make sure transfers are not a problem. Because I think the way you made that new contract system in 24, it sounded interesting initially, but really, in reality, all it did was lock in how boring the transfers are. Because I suspect the AI basically was signing long contracts in the back end and then never jump ship and never change teams. That's why we never got any good transfers. In my last season of career mode, the only transfers I got was a swap between the team I went to and the driver I replaced. Moving on to number 3 or 4, however you want to kind of, see the last point I just made. The next point is, again, talking about a system that was in F1 24. If you are bringing the recognition system over to my team career mode, you need to reassure us that you have acknowledged and seen the glaring problem with tying R&D upgrades to recognition. If you want an example, just look at the last 2-3 seasons of my career mode. Because not one single driver in every single team could get to the high enough recognition to unlock the last upgrades. It meant that no one made a single upgrade the entire season. And pretty much the season before that. It took me half a season in season 4, was it, to get enough recognition to then make my final 3rd secret upgrades. But none of the AI teams were doing that around me. And then what happened in the next season? I moved teams, I definitely couldn't get enough recognition because my teammate was Max Verstappen. And so I spent a whole season without a single upgrade for anyone, AI or me, apart from like the, automatic upgrades you get for the engine. And also, by the way, that also glaringly showed why on earth was there not an R&D reset? The way the coding is should absolutely see this, plateauing and go ding, 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 ding. We need to do a reset. How on earth was there not an R&D reset there for me to mix things up? And then finally, the last thing we need to hear from EA is about the handling. Obviously, that's a big thing for a lot of people. I, for one, actually think by the end of this game cycle, I think maybe at the start of F1 24, we all talked about the handling a bit too much, and it basically took away from all of these other glaring problems I just went through. Like, being candid, I genuinely think all those problems got pushed to the side because we were talking about handling far too much in a way. Obviously, I know it's a racing game, so handling means a lot, like a lot. But I feel like for a single player experience, very equally, how the AI are, how these other things are also matter. Like, let's say the handling was like F1 23, but I had the F1 24 career mode, I would still be incredibly unhappy because I would still not be able to have fun racing with the AI. You would still have all these issues with career mode. So that's why I've left handling here at the end of the video. Also because, to be fair, be honest, guys, it's probably obvious to you that you want to hear about handling. And I think EA know that we want to hear about handling. And I think the first deep dive will probably be just about, I don't know, the general handling maybe, or the general game, or they might do some spiel about Ego Engine and such, and the tracks. But I think they probably will address that. But I'll say anyway, you need to say that you've improved the handling. You need to maybe show, or verbally say the bits you think were wrong in 24, or the bits that we have all been saying are wrong in 24, like the ultra grip past a certain turn angle, etc. The crazy levels of downforce swing and just ridiculous grip in that sort of sense. You need to be addressing that sort of stuff and kind of calling out that that was specifically an issue and that you're fixing it. So all of these things, we need you, EA, to understand that is priority number one. All of these things need to come first because, simply put, none of the features will matter. They actually won't. We may as well be playing F1 like 2011 at that point if you've not addressed these things, because who cares if there's F3 icons? I actually couldn't care. What's it gonna be use? Oh, F3 driver in my team, he can't overtake anyone because he's stuck in a DRS train. What's it gonna matter? These new ways to upgrade our car in my team career mode. Oh, I can't do this upgrade because my recognition's not high enough, no one's upgrading around me. So why should I, as my created team, I could upgrade, but then I'll just be up here with all the AI teams stuck down here. The R&D's all stuck and no one's moving about anywhere. Oh, there's not a single R&D reset, but thank God we've got all these new menus to look at and say, like, none of it matters, actually. Like, I would have got excited. Like, in previous years, without all this stuff, I would be so positive going to the deep dive coming up. I would be so looking forward to hearing about these features and stuff. But as it stands right now, the more important stuff's not being addressed. Because none of that actually matters if you don't solve these problems I've just talked about. And I've just, I think very nicely illustrated why none of it matters until these things are resolved. So, yeah, like I said, this is advice. I'm trying to help you guys out, EA, Codies. Because it might seem like I'm being very negative going into this game cycle and skeptical. I am obviously very skeptical. But it's actually from a place of love. It's from a place of, I want to advise you guys the best way to go about it because I just don't think at times the decision making on what to focus on is appropriate to the situation at hand with the previous F1 game, basically. So it's advice, and I hope they take it. And I hope you guys agree with me that these things need to be addressed first. I hope you can agree with that. If you don't, then let me know. Let me know in the comments below. If you disagree, I'll be surprised, and also intrigued though to hear the debates about this. But I feel like majority will be on the same page as me here, that these things all collectively, those 5 points, must be addressed before any care in the world is taken to the new features, basically. So, yeah, if you guys have enjoyed the video, then be sure to hit the like button. Let me know what you thought. If you're new around here, then do get subscribed for weekly Formula 1 content. And like I said, whenever the deep dive is going to happen, as early as maybe next week, you guys know I will be absolutely on it and straight in as early as I can with a full breakdown of it. But till then, guys, hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Goodbye.